They have the experience, so to speak, because I talked with Nicolas backstage, and he said, first week we played, defending was different than what we were used to. We were not that good in defense. Now we feel better, now we feel more confident in defense, and we've seen that against Makers, who were arguably one of the favorites to make it through, convincing 3-0 win. So I'm expecting few goals conceded for Guild, but against Anders and Umut, you never know.
One thing that we know about RB Leipzig, Andersen and Umut, Nine watches that they played 4 games 4 weeks ago. They went unbeaten. They did draw 2 of them. One of their draws did come against this team here. RB Leipzig will be kicking from right to left in this game. There could be 1-0 up in the first few minutes. Penalty, referee, points to the spot. He spoke about defending. There might have been panic stations there from Guilds. And this could be a chance for Umut, the current world champion, to score from the spot. It's Huller that's over it. The composure's going to be right. Of course it is. Up steps Umut, and he scores. And just like that, it is the perfect start for the team that were leading this group at the start of play today.
Game plan out of the window. If you're hoping to get to halftime on a 0-0, a 1-0, conceding a pen in the 5th minute is not the way you want your game to start.
And what happened there? Is it just a case of a mishap of a button press there that was wrong, or was it just one of them you just look back on and you go, look, it was a mess, let's move on?
I think they got a bit fortunate in the box in terms of Leipzig, and then some panic station tried to maybe go for that manual block with the tackle, but you mistime it, the shot goes off, you can see the pen. Simple as that.
You do not give a pen away in any circumstances, especially a week that means so much in this group. Here's Umut charging forward. Mbappe stops in his tracks. Unfortunately, if you are a Guild esports fan, it's not the start that we would have wanted. Dancing, Mbappe. Tried a shot timed in red. That's how the table looks right now. Remember, they have still got a game in hand, RB Leipzig, but this is more of a gap. This is an opportunity, Nightwatch, just to gain 3 points on some really difficult teams in this group, including Guild and Makers.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's 2 main focus points for this group. First of all is not dropping points to the bottom team that currently is Blue United. It's kind of similar to the SPQR group. Last time I was here, we kind of had the same narrative. So I think 1, winning your game against Blue United, and second, something that Team Fowus has done very good, is even if you're not winning those games, do not lose the games. So even if you draw, it's better than going all out for the win. At least that's how it was last week. And you see currently Fowus, they're on second. They've not lost a game like RB Leipzig, but they're looking good. So I think the main talking point in these matchups between the favorites is to not lose games.
Speaking of the other game that is taking place right now, it has kicked off behind us. We'll give you an update when we can. It's Footwiz against Makers. Why that is so important is if Makers lose, they just lost 3-0 to Guild. If they lose again to Footwiz, now they're making it difficult for themselves, Nightwatch, because they'll be 5 points potentially adrift from the rest of the pack.
Like I said, the main focus point against your rivals is not necessarily to win the games, but to not give them points, to not give them those 3 points that will open up the gap. Not only are you not winning points, but you're also gifting points. It's basically a 6-pointer. Every game is basically a 6-pointer between those 4 teams. So you want to go for draws and obviously wins, but I think you play it safe more than anything, and hope you clutch up at the end.
25 minutes gone here. It's been an aggressive start from the German side that were virtual Bundesliga club champions last year. This team exactly, Umut and Vejrgang. It was actually Anders Vejrgang's first real taste of competing when he turned 16. Played in that tournament, teamed up with the world champion. And able to bring home that all-important result, of course. The Gaucho also part of that team. Building for a second is Capdevia. Van Dijk goes down to ground, pushed off the ball. I've had to put you on the spot here, and if you don't want to give me an answer, you don't have to. In your mind, who qualifies from this group?
My prediction before the game started, the day started, were obviously Leipzig and Fowus. I honestly think they should feel hard done by from last week's results. They played really well. Obviously, they threw a 4-goal lead against Leipzig. So if they get the rub of the green today, they should be going through as at least second in this group.
Speaking of that game, Nightwatch, round 5 that one comes, the rematch, the repeat. It's the highest goal score game we've ever seen here in any of the weeks at the EA Sports Cup. It had 8 goals in it between RB Leipzig and Footwiz, and unfortunately, I hate to keep bringing it up, but Footwiz giving away a 4-goal lead. I'm sure you call that one from home, Night Watch. It was a bit of a shocking game, wasn't it?
I was watching that game at home, and I couldn't believe it. It was one of Anders's first game at an international level in terms of EA broadcast, and to come back in a best-of-1 in a 2v2 format from 4-0 down, it's probably one way to announce yourself at the biggest stage. So I'm looking forward to that last round.
And of course, we'll keep you up to date with the other game that is underway between Makers and Footwiz. This one, only 1 goal to the good. There's been a goal in this one. It's gone the way of the Swedes, and by God, they needed that. Nearly. Over 3 halves of FIFA without scoring a goal. They'll be buzzing with that one, Night Watch, to just find the back of the net. It's as simple as it sounds. Just to score a goal will give them a bit of confidence. And it shakes the group up even more. It is so tightly contested, this.
If, in theory, we see gaming, Red Bull Leipzig Gaming run away with it in terms of beating every opponent in every matchup, the most important thing would be between Team Footwiz, Guild, and Makers, who takes points off of who. And right now, we could be looking at a win for each team and a loss for each team, one against each other. So I'm very curious as how these 3 teams play between each other. And then the most important games would be their games against bottom seed and top seed in terms of Blue and RB Leipzig.
Well, I think that's going to do us for half-time in this game. Only 1 goal between them. We said there wasn't going to be much in it after they drew 4 weeks ago at 1-1. The goal has come from a mistake at the back from Guild, where they gave away a penalty. They gifted a chance to Umut, I believe, who has got that blue cursor above his player head. They scored from the spot. And at half-time, they might be up by a goal to nil, but there is still so much time to play. Just looking at the stats there, you can just see 59% possession in the favour of RB Leipzig. Only 1 chance, only 1 real chance from Guild so far. What have they got to do just to turn it around on their head, Night Watch? Obviously score goals and create chances, but more than that, what have they got to do to try and sort of unsettle this RB Leipzig team?
I think they have the experience. I don't think they necessarily have to change anything. I think they're confident enough in their defense and their attack, because after the pen, we've not really seen a big chance for Umut and Anders. So they have to hope they score the next goal, and from there on, it's either an open game if there's a lot of time left. If not, I think you're looking at last couple of attacks, and ensuring a 1-1.
Yeah, one question for you as well. I think it was 5 weeks ago we worked together here at the EA Sports Cup. Obviously, the game has had a patch since then. In terms of seeing top-level FIFA gameplay in front of our very own eyes right now, what are some of the biggest things that we're going to notice across the course of today, and what we've already seen across the last couple of weeks?
I think the main thing you will notice in 2v2 especially is the wing plays. Pre-patch, it was really hard, even if you have an Mbappe or an Alawairan or a pacey player, to run down the wing and beat your man. Although in 2v2, it's one of the most important features, I think, because you never want to lose the ball in the middle of the pitch. After the patch, it's a lot easier to run down the wing and beat your man. And that, combined with the fact that in 2v2, it's one of the main ways to attack, is... We've seen it last game, Guild Esports against Makers. Their first 2 goals to make it to go 2-0 up, wing play. So I think that's your main weapon, your main source of attack, source of action for 2v2 post-patch. So maybe that's what Guild will be going for. Just go down the wing, look for the cutback. Although I am sure Leipzig are prepared for it, but I'm expecting more wing play from Guild in the second half.
Well, we're back underway for the second half here. That's the force, the bounce back. It's going to fall kindly! You do not give them a sniff in the box, because every single time they'll punish you. And just like that, RB Leipzig lead by 2-0.
And it's typical, step overs. Step overs, boost forward, far post, FIFA 23, very effective, very good goal.
We have a little bit of an update for you in terms of the standings in this group. We apologise, there was a little bit of a technical difficulty on it. Makers would, of course, be on more points now because they are currently winning against Footwiz. But look at that, 11-10, 9-8. Again, that's as it stands right now. And what's more scary, Night Watch, is that RB Leipzig have got a game in hand still.
The only difference between now and how we started the game off is, again, as you said it, Leipzig have one game in hand. We're, again, 1 point difference between the top 4 teams. But Leipzig, I think if you've already played Leipzig, you want them to win every game until the end.
We'll just hold you there for a second, Ivan. There's been a goal in the other game. Is it an equaliser for Footwiz, or is it a double for Makers? Oh no! It looks as if it was a bit of a mistake at the back and coming together. The Makers are not going to complain about that. They lead by 2-0, sorry. And as it stands, the table will remain the same, but the goal difference may swing a little bit more. It could be 3-0 for RB Leipzig. Great save, Van der Sar. If that went in, unfortunately, I think that would be GG's in the chat.
I think in 10-ish minutes, next pause, time for constant pressure. Push comes to shove. Are you playing for goal difference, or are you playing to take off points of what I would say is clear favorites in this group? There's a wing play I'm talking about.
Keep in mind as well, Ivan, that that'll be the first defeat that Footwiz would have tasted. They've been unbeaten across 5 matches now in this group. They were superb 4 weeks ago. Obviously, as we know, they opened up their account to Blue United with a 1-0 win as well. So that could shake that Footwiz side, especially with the big games they've got coming up, because they still have got to play, we're talking really difficult matches against Guild and RB Leipzig. They're not easy games, and they would not want to be dropping points now.
Yes, they got the easy game, quote-unquote, out of the way, and they still have a round where they need to sit it out. So they're not looking in a good position if they lose this game. But then again, you have 2 6-pointers ahead. You win both, you're looking good.
Well, speaking of in-game foot players, for a split second now, you spoke about one man in particular who's been your sort of favourite player on FIFA 23. I want to get you guys involved at home in the conversation. Who has been your favourite player that you've used on FIFA 23? You mentioned him briefly, a new foot hero this year, Nightwatch. Who is it, and why are you such a big fan of, I might as well give it away, the Saudi Arabian?
I think Vejrgang, post-patch, is arguably one of the best players in the game, just because of that sheer pace and good dribbling he has. His finishing is a lot better than you would initially think with his 86 shooting. And as I said, the wing play, post-patch, very effective. And it's one of those where it's a surprise package. It's not a player you would expect to be that good or a player you've used in previous editions of FIFA. So having that, I would say, fresh face on the pitch and in the meta teams and in the pro teams kind of makes it a bit more special when you play with those items.
Great to hear some of you in the chat as well get involved in the conversation. Flashback Messi. Even Edin Dzeko got a shout in the chat. Kareem the Dream Benzema. Back to this though. RB Leipzig still lead by 2-0 in their opening match here in Group B. Guild need a response, and they need it now. They needed a cutback there. Just left it a bit too late. That was David Sanchez. I think waiting for his teammate just to tease that one up. There's an attack now for RB Leipzig that could make it 3-0. What a tackle from Virgil van Dijk, and as that one goes out of play, we hear there's been more goals in the other game now. It's Footwiz against Makers. Which way has it gone? And it's a goal back for Footwiz. There's 20 minutes left in that one.
That is a copy-paste goal. The same goal that they scored against Blue United in the last round.
Tell you what, this could be game. This could be game, set, match. Mbappe off the bar somehow. Vieira just getting a knee on it. That was Nicolas at the back there defending.
Amazing manual block, amazing. Run the player far post. I think Rebel Leipzig, they took a little bit too much time maybe in the box with the finishing. They expected a goalkeeper movement. Guild didn't move keeper. They waited a bit. They moved player on the line, and they did very well to block that chance.
I think that was Vejrgang that had the chance there. Had so much time and space for Mbappe. But look, Guild are having to go for this game, and now gaps will naturally start to appear. Mbappe against Vieira. The battle is still alive. Cristiano Ronaldo can't outsmart Van Dijk there. Time's not on their side, but as you can clearly see, Guild are going for the game. Cruyff's now on the pitch. They've got more numbers forward. Is there a goal back? Is there a way back in the tie for Guild? Nicolas dinks it into the box. His teammates there. Lucio defends it superbly well. And if anything, it's just a bit of game management that's needed now.
It's easier said than done in hindsight as well. The half chance that Guild had maybe 10, 15 in-game minutes ago, I think instead of going for the cutback, if you green time shot far post, it is, in my opinion, 90% a goal. But they're way too used to the cutback plays, the wing plays, so they went for that and it got blocked.
They might be 2-0 up, but they don't seem fully over the moon with the performance so far. And I think there's such an interesting dynamic between these two, and I've seen it develop across the last few weeks, seen it in the back room as well between these two. Anders expects such a level from his teammate, which if you think about it in the other way, we're going off achievement so far. There's a world champion sitting next to you who just is sitting in his chair and just taking orders.
You can see that from the interview. Last time they were here, you guys asked Anders, who's the captain in the team? And you heard a very, very confident Anders saying, I'm the captain. Reminds me of that meme, look at me, I'm the captain now. That's how Anders is feeling.
Umut just nodding and saying, look, however you want to play, I'll play. And so far, he has been the man that scored the 2 goals in this game. Guild, 6 minutes away. They need goals, they need a way back in the tie now! You can just see Anders celebrating that save. We've heard a roar in the other game. Footwiz makers, it was 2-1 last time we saw it. Corner into the box, Virgil van Dijk, he can't score, that's another corner. From Guild, 4 minutes left in this one. We'll jump over to the other game as soon as this one does conclude. What can we see here from a corner? Time's not on their side. They need to get into the box now. Defended well by Cristiano Ronaldo, who's always handy to come on late into a game, just so he offers you a bit of defensive prowess, how tall he is, how good he is in the air. And RB Leipzig just dealing with that again for now. 2 minutes left. Is there enough time? I really don't think there is. Mbappe, pull it, back inside, and Kunku dispossessed. I think that's a GG, Ivan, surely.
At this point it is. If they had scored that that cutback chance, what, 2 attacks ago, I think they had a good chance, but now it's over. It's a question of maybe scoring 1 goal for the goal difference, but I think they're going to close it out.
Well, I think this is job done. Their first game back 4 weeks later. No question marks over the only unbeaten team left in this group.